Good evening, everyone, and we're back for another episode of Real Chill Conversations. I'm Brenna, and tonight, as our co-host, we've got Dominique. How you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing great.
Okay, good to
I
hear.
hope everybody is doing good.
Yes, yes, yes. So tonight, I wanted to talk about this topic. With all that's going on in social media, and people making posts and sending screenshots and just, hitting back at their significant other with things that they have gotten by either going through their phones or following their social media. I wanted to talk about whether or not it is healthy and if it's a good thing to go through your partner's phone. And is this something that the two of you have agreed upon? Do you have an agreement in place where it's like, babe, let me see your phone, and you hand it over and they go through your phone, you go through their phone, and then you look at it and you see what you see, ask whatever questions you have, and then hopefully put it all to rest. Now, I don't know how you feel about this, but in my previous situation and a few years ago, before we actually got married, I was definitely one of those ones that was going through the phone. I could not wait until he went in the shower. I could not wait until he fell asleep for the night. Man, I was going through that phone to try to see what I could see. And every time I went through that phone, my feelings got hurt. Every time. Because when you go and you look for something, you're going to find something. And even if it might be something that is not serious, you're bound to take it the wrong way, you're bound to misinterpret it. So I was like, just to save myself the heartache and the stress that it was causing me, I just made a conscious decision to just let it be. I'm not going to go through your phone. I'm not going to ask you what's in your phone. Whatever you're doing, whatever's going on, I'm going to find out about it when it's meant for me to find out about it. How do you feel about that?
So, yes, I was one of those too. And I think a lot of us are guilty of doing that to our partner, like, especially if you having some trust issues. And it don't necessarily have to be from that relationship, it could have been from your previous relationship.
Right.
So, it's not necessarily that that person is the one, like at the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, I only had one relationship where I actually went through phones.
Mm-hmm.
And that was because I'll always give you a chance. I give you my trust.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think everybody is the same. I don't think everybody operate the same.
Right.
So I come into the relationship giving you all the trust. Only you can fuck it up. So it's up to you. I've never been through phones in my previous, like I said, my previous relationship. So when I came into this one, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, you know, you got my complete full trust.
Right.
Da, da, da. After I start hearing stuff, after I start seeing stuff, especially after you start acting different, because I think that's what trigger women,
Yeah.
especially, to go into your phone.
Right.
So once I started seeing all these patterns, and he was coming home late,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes he wouldn't come home till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Now I'm sitting here wondering, where were you all this time?
Right.
So yes, I started going through phones. I'm guilty of it. I was, call me insecure if you want to, but I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to confirm exactly what I was thinking.
Right.
And yes, every time I went through it, every time it never failed, I always got my feelings hurt.
Yeah.
It was always something in the phone regarding a female,
Mm-hmm.
of him messing around with somebody.
Right.
So it was always, it never failed.
Right. And I think when you experience that and you go through the stages of them acting different, going out, staying out late, treating you differently, being distant, and all of that. I mean, it's just your natural human nature to want to figure out and kind of find out what's going on. And if you've asked them questions, if you've been like, babe, like, what's going on? Like, are you okay? And they just give you this nonchalant answer and don't really answer the question and really, confirm that everything is fine and soothe those feelings of insecurity. And I call it an insecurity because you're worried and you're concerned that something is happening that you don't have any knowledge of and that you don't have any control over. So I think the tendency to go through the phones is us trying to take that control back and trying to confirm with ourselves that our intuition was on point and like, yep, I knew something was fishy. I knew something wasn't right about this situation. And for us to get that confirmation so that we know we're not just assuming and like thinking something is coming from, nowhere. There's always a reason. But as you've said, and as I've said, every time that I have actually gone through the process of looking through the phone and sorting through messages and social media and things like that, I've always gotten my feelings hurt because there's always been something in there that I wasn't expecting to find, but yet it did confirm my suspicions and my feelings that something was happening that shouldn't be happening.
And I believe, with all of this, no, it's not right, to look through somebody's phone. I get it if you seem like that's your personal stuff, but when you're supposed to be living with somebody or in a straight up relationship and y'all have this agreement, I won't cheat on you, you're not going to cheat on me, and stuff like that, and you're in a very serious relationship, then you need to speak about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't. I stopped going through phones. Like I stopped. I literally just stopped. I didn't do it for like 3-4 years. And I was like, you know what? It's over. Because at the end of the day, I didn't have to go looking for it anymore. It just came to me. Like females hit me up and told me about it. Right. You know what I'm saying? On social media and everything. And things were still being exposed.
Right.
So at the end of the day, I never wanted to start that trend, especially when he asked me for my phone, I gave up my phone.
Right.
That's how simple it is. If you're not doing something, you're able to tell your partner. If your partner says, hey, let me use your phone for this or that, you might be helping him with his business, or he may be helping you with your business, or you may be helping him with something else, whatever the case may be.
Right.
If I say, let me see your phone, I'm going to give you my phone.
Yeah.
But it was really hard for the other party to just give up their phone. So obviously there was something in that phone that you didn't want it to be known because you knew what you was doing.
Exactly.
So, it's just that trust. If you have that type of trust, and then some people try to flip it around and you ask them for the phone, they'd be like, why? You don't trust me?
Right.
Like, oh, I don't like this. No, it shouldn't, you shouldn't even have to do that.
Right. If you're not doing anything wrong, then you should have no qualms about handing over your phone. And you shouldn't, and I want to say this too. I don't think that you should feel offended, if your partner is asking to look at your phone, or wants to see your phone or wants to hold your phone or whatever.
I don't think it's feeling offended. I think it's more of a manipulative move that people make.
Yeah.
Certain people, just to make you feel bad about going through somebody's phone.
Exactly.
And like I said, nobody, usually you don't think from the top of your head, I'm just going to look through his phone. Right. Usually it's something that you need to do on that person's phone. Mm-hmm. And then they start acting funny about it.
Yeah.
And then that's when you start wondering, what's the problem? I've known some people that keep their phones in their car.
Right. Right.
And don't bring it in the house.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like they hide
or keep it on pure silent.
Yeah.
Do not disturb.
Do not disturb.
I mean, come on, like,
Yeah,
You
because when
know,
times be going off at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and you in the bed, you like, who's that?
oh,
What
that's a work call.
what is that?
Really? At that
Yeah,
time?
at that time. Yeah. Or that's just Daryl and them. They wanted me to come out tonight and they just hit me up to see if I'm coming out. Man, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Where are y'all going at 4 o'clock in the morning? What's the reason? Like, don't play me for stupid. Like, I'm not dumb. You know what I'm saying? But I'm in a position, in my life now where I'm not interested in going through your phone and sorting through your phone and seeing what you're up to. If it's meant for me to find out, I'm going to find out, and I'm going to find out when the time is
Exactly.
and when it's supposed to happen and when it's supposed to be. And that'll be either somebody reaching out to me, or something gets put on social media, or somebody sends me a message or something like that, or somebody calls me or whatever. But I'm not searching for anything that's going to cause me to worry or have concern for unnecessary reason. That's a stress that I decided to eliminate from my life because I wasn't getting anything positive. I was just getting nothing but stress, constantly stressed when I was in the position of going through phones. And I
And
mean,
listen, I was young, dumb, in love, and I like that's I was all of it at one time
yeah,
because I was putting my all into the relationship and I felt like I was really being taken advantage of. And
yeah,
then you always get hit with the you don't trust me and stuff like that. And no, I don't trust you because of your patterns.
yeah,
But what I have to also realize that it was not just that person, it was me too.
yeah,
Because if I didn't trust somebody, I should have let them go long. You know what I'm saying? You should let that person go.
right,
You don't want to live in that bubble,
right,
of always having all these kind of doubts. Do this person really love me? Are they cheating on me? Are they doing this? Are they doing that? I mean, that's just so unhealthy.
yeah,
So you want to make sure definitely that you are in a healthy relationship. So if you want that and you're constantly thinking about your partner's phone, you're not going to achieve that level of happiness
mm-mm,
because you want to be with somebody who you could trust.
right,
And even if you had an open relationship with that person, because I heard somebody mention this on the group, you know, on the Real Chill Conversations group.
mm-hmm,
Like, even if you had that type of relationship where you had an open relationship with somebody and they come and they look in your phone, you know what I'm saying? Like, your phone is there available for them. Y'all already had this conversation.
right,
That's a different story.
yeah,
Of course, nobody can get mad about anything.
right,
It's there to see, and boom.
yeah, yeah,
But if we don't have that type of relationship,
right.
you know, and I just had a man tell me the other day, because he gave his input on this. I don't go through phones, but if I ask for it, it better be given to me. Like, if you ain't doing nothing.
Right. Right. I mean, I think that, it's a decision that each couple and each relationship, y'all need to make that decision for yourselves. If you're going to have an open phone policy, I know people that know the passwords to their partner's
I
phone,
was just gonna ask that question.
you know,
Would you give him your password?
the password to the phone, and it's like, I don't have anything to hide. But at the same time, it's like, maybe there's private conversations that I've had, like with my friends, over text message or something like that. And it's like not any of his business because that's between me and my girls. Like, I don't want you reading into that information and knowing about my friend over here and what she's got going on and what she's going through, because that's an invasion of her privacy that I committed to keep and hold sacred, to myself. So I mean, that's a very innocent and I think a reasonable and a logical, situation. But I don't know if I'm going to hand the password over to my phone. I don't know if I'm going to do that.
Well, yeah, I could see that.
But
I don't like if it's something, I mean, this is just me, if it's just something private, I'm going to delete it anyway. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? If I have to keep it on keepsake, I'll probably send it to my email.
yeah, that's true.
But,
That's
I'm going to delete it anyway. So
Yeah,
because anybody can steal your phone one day, you
that's
may
true.
leave your phone. So they people, you'd be surprised what people do with this information. So especially if it's, something somebody is going through, they
Hmm.
always like the drama in the mess. So,
Yeah,
um, yeah. So if you're going through your partner's phone, like, being sneaky and stuff, I think that's a problem and we need to talk about it.
yeah,
I don't want you sneaking in my phone.
right,
Let's talk about it. Like, what is making you do that? Like, you don't have to sneak through my phone. It's right there.
right.
We can have a
But I
conversation.
wonder if somebody has the password to your phone, then they can go on your phone at any time, as opposed to sitting down with you and saying, "Hey, I'd like to just, see what's going on in your phone." That's a different story. But if they have the password to your phone, then the minute your phone is out, you leave it on the counter, you leave it on the bed, you leave it on the sofa, you in the shower, it's on the charger, whatever, then they have free reign to just go through your phone. And, even if you do delete messages and even if you don't have anything that is referencing anyone's personal situation or private situation, I still think that that gives them the ability to go through it. And I don't know that most people would not be tempted. I don't know that most guys have the same mindset that we do and realize that when you go through it, you're going to find something that you're going to question. Now, maybe they go through and they look at your Facebook or they look at your TikTok or they look at your Instagram and they look at the number of messages that you get from random people. I don't respond to those messages. And
Right, me neither. I don't feel like I have anything to hide when it comes to social media,
right.
text messages, or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even that type of female. So, like, it'll be accessible to you. if
Hmm.
if you want to confirm any suspicion or you want to make yourself feel better.
Yeah. Or
um
see for yourself what's really going on.
Somebody said, well, I'm not that person that want to look through your phone because I feel like you're gonna find what you're looking for, but I've never been that person. And if my spouse wants to look through my phone, the answer is no. Not because I'm hiding something, but because don't make me a part of your insecurities. I'm not doing anything wrong,
Okay.
but because you've been hurt in the past, you want to bring it to me. No, sir. What's
Okay.
next? You want to check my car, my clothes? Things get way bigger.
I can get with that. I can understand where she's coming from because
Yeah.
again, it's an insecurity. And then like, when does the insecurity stop? When is it
Do
that
you
you
think it's really okay? So, insecurity, but if okay, yeah, it is. It's part of an insecurity. And
Mhm.
I guess you could say that, especially if that person has been cheating on you or been dishonest,
Right,
because it seems like that's when people get more insecure of the partner.
right.
But I
But
mean,
isn't that
it's
drag
not a big deal.
isn't it dragging your past baggage from your other experiences and your other relationships into your current one? I mean, and isn't that a no-no? Like, don't you have to, leave that behind you and work with what that person is showing you and what that person is giving you? And if they're giving you trust, if they're giving you no reason to have doubts and suspicions, like, shouldn't you just leave it alone?
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I'm thinking.
Absolutely. Yes. I don't think you should be doing that, period. Not even if you have suspicions of somebody doing something.
So that's where the communication comes in. If you have
Yes, just
and
ask,
you feel like something is going on, then that's when you ask the question. And you
yeah,
have
just
and you
ask.
have,
I feel like I'm more mature now than what I used to be. I told you I was young, dumb, and in love. Like I
yeah,
did crazy shit, and
yeah.
I'm probably not the only one.
No.
But that was because I knew I just wanted to confirm to myself that he was cheating and I was right. Because he always used to be like, well, you ain't got no proof. So,
Right,
okay, well, let me go get the proof.
right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? When I went to look for it, it was there.
Yeah.
So I learned my lesson. I did because I didn't want to continue to be getting hurt every time.
Hmm.
So I just stopped. And
Yeah.
as I grew older and I got more mature, I that's petty to me.
Yeah.
If you don't trust somebody, just let them go.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Make
Save
it easier
yourself.
for yourself.
Save yourself and save the heartbreak and the unnecessary stress that comes with it, because boy, when I tell you, I was in some stressful situations that I didn't need to be in, and I should have gotten out a long time before I got out. I hung in there too long because, like you said, I was young, dumb, and out and in love, and I just knew that no matter what I did, if I just tried hard enough and worked hard enough and loved hard enough, that I could make it work out with this person and I could keep them from doing what they were doing on the side. And it just doesn't
But
work
you
like
can't. It don't work like that. You
it doesn't work
can't.
like that. Mm-mm.
And people be like, well, what if you have a partner that just cheats and do all these well, you got to leave them. If you don't mind them cheating, then stay by all means.
No, I can't name one person that would sit here and say, "Oh, I don't
Some
mind."
people do. You'd be surprised.
I can't. I mean, I can't. For me, I could not live my life like that, knowing that my significant other was out here cheating on a regular basis, on an ongoing basis, and I wasn't doing anything about it. I would be absolutely miserable. And I would have to change that misery because I mean, I just can't live my life like that. I don't have time for the drama. I don't have time for the BS. And I don't have time to be made to feel like I'm not good enough and I'm not worth it enough to be just enough for just me, to be just enough for you. Like, why do you have to seek out two, three other, four, five, six, seven, eight other females? Why?
Because some people just they're not content and they're not happy of where they at. So my thing is people try to put a blind eye to it and just say, oh, it's just something that I want to do. It's just something, that I wanted to do at the moment, or it was this little moment thing. But it's not. It's something deeper inside of you. And if you just look for it and figure it out, maybe you wouldn't have to go through 3, 4, 5 different partners to figure out which one is the one for you. Because sometimes answer is you.
Right. That's true. That's
So
true.
I mean, yeah, I mean, some people one thing is not sufficient enough because they're looking for something else.
Mm-hmm.
When I get in relationships, I try, and this is what I have done. Like in every relationship, serious relationship, come on, y'all, and that's not that many that I've been in. I always try to, again, trust 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, I'm coming in, I don't know you like I don't know you like I've been knowing you forever, right? I'm
Right.
just getting to know you.
Right.
So I'm giving you that 100% trust. I'm giving you the opportunity to do right or fuck it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's only going to be one of the two.
Right.
You choose.
Yeah.
So I don't judge you from my past relationships, because I don't want nobody to come in a relationship with me and judge me for their past bad experience in their relationship, because I'm not a, a woman, the typical woman that just every man think, oh, you cheating, you doing this, you doing that.
Right.
I come with a lot of things that I would like to receive.
Yeah.
Valuable things.
Yeah, and one of those things I think that, you know, what that you and I have that's similar is that, you know, we're very loyal people. So you know, it's like if I'm in a serious relationship with you, if I have feelings for you, if I care about you and you mean something to me, then I'm loyal. And it's, you know, it's bit me in the ass before,
Right.
my
Right.
loyalty. You know, my loyalty was taken for granted. It wasn't appreciated
I
by
think
right.
most women loyalty has been taken for granted, and that's why some women don't care about being faithful no more in a relationship. And I could totally see why. You
Yeah,
know, would that be me? No, you know,
right.
because I have a different view, and I'm not changing it for nobody.
Exactly.
But can I see why women do change and why their objective be like, they gonna do me like that, I'm just gonna do them like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why.
I could see why too, but I'm not going to. That's not going to change who I am, you know, as a core person. Yes, I went through some really shitty experiences. Yes, I had some really bad experiences and negative experiences that would have soured me and would have had me being like, "Oh, I don't give a shit. I'm just going to go out here and do whatever. I'm going to go out
Exactly.
here and I'm going to gain my revenge." But that's not going to do anything except hurt me in the long run, because I know that's not really who I am, you know, at my
Right.
core. So I would just be, you know, putting on a front, acting like I don't care when really I do. And ultimately, I just wind up hurting myself because the other person doesn't care. They don't give a shit what you've done and what you decide to do and how you move forward. That they're not thinking about that because they've moved on 3, 4, 5 times.
Yeah, some people don't care.
Mm-mm.
So, I mean, and another thing, when you going through people's phones, when it especially has to do through text messages, I know that sometimes text messages can be misinterpreted.
Right.
So, like, that was one of the biggest things. Like, you never know. Like, especially with, you know, everybody has their own grammar and stuff.
Right.
So you can't take it
Right.
as
You can't take their reading a text message isn't the same as hearing their tone and seeing their facial expression when they're communicating with you. You're just reading words and you're reading their grammar. And it's like you try to read it, you know, in their voice and how they sound and how they talk, and you can try to picture, you know, what it is that they're trying to, you know, come across in the message. But a lot of times it gets it gets misunderstood and it gets misinterpreted. And then you're like, oh, well, I mean, we need to let's not text anymore. Let's have an actual conversation.
right. When you have an actual conversation or you actually seeing something visually, like one of my exes, you know, I've seen pictures of him kissing another girl while we were together. So like, yeah, stuff like that, you know, like that was very hurtful at the time for me. You know what I'm saying? To even see stuff like that. That's why I said, ooh, enough with the phone situation, because it could really break you if
Yeah.
you let it, you know.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was times where if I did go through the phone, it would be a big old fight, a big old fuss, everything thrown, you know, things being thrown,
Yeah.
everything. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be put in that position anymore, where I could have got hurt or anything like that. So
Hmm.
therefore, I stopped that completely. And
Yeah.
I didn't want to hurt myself even more by reading and looking at stuff that I already knew was true anyway. So I basically put myself in that position
Right.
where I could have learned from it then and said, you know what, enough is enough. And I don't trust this person. There's nothing there with that person. So I could have just left.
Right. Absolutely.
But anyways, it was stopped. So that is the good thing.
Yeah.
And I would never would want to do it again. And I would never want to put myself in a position where I'm questioning my partner.
Right.
Like I want him to be my best friend. He's
Mhm.
my best friend.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be put in a position where I have to question his loyalty.
Right.
You know, I don't think nobody does.
Mm-mm.
So when there are things that may be kind of sketchy or stuff like that, you want to be able to come to your partner and talk about it.
Yeah.
And even come into some people, I know some people even come into agreements that, you know, they won't hold the phone from each other.
Yeah.
Or come into agreements of, hey, this is my personal space, that's your personal space.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever works for you all, because you are the ones that have to be in the relationship.
Exactly.
So everything is not going to work for everybody.
Right. What works for one couple might not necessarily work for another couple. And there's been a lot of debate and a lot of back and forth and a lot of different opinions on this. You know, there's some people that are like, they have no problem handing their phones over. There's others that have stated that no, never, I'm not going through their phone. They're not going through my phone. It has nothing to do with trust. It's just a matter of my own personal space and my own personal privacy. So, you know, whatever works for you and keeps your relationship healthy and doesn't cause any tensions between you two because someone feels a certain way because you won't hand over your phone or you're not able to look in their phone. I mean, and that's really between you all to discuss and to have an open conversation and an open dialogue. But I just wanted to ask that question and kind of get some feedback and see, you know, what your thoughts were and what some other people's thoughts were as far as going through each other's phones. I'm at a space in my life right now where I don't feel the need to have to go through somebody's phone and go looking for something and then, you know, getting upset or getting stressed because I don't understand what I'm seeing or I'm upset by what I'm seeing. Or, you know, like I said, if something is meant for me to find out, I will find out.
Oh,
That's
it will come to light
it
anyway.
will come to life. And when you go searching, you go finding. And I'm not interested in finding out anything before I'm supposed to know about it. There's a time and a place for everything. I think everything happens for a reason. And like I said, if I'm meant to find out about something that's going on that is going to impact or affect my relationship, I'll find out about it and then I'll handle it accordingly.
And I think that's when it's more organic.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Do you have any other closing thoughts for our show tonight?
yes. Don't, you know, if you want to just keep a healthy relationship, it's best not to go through your partner's phone. But yes, I do believe that if y'all doing something for each other and it requires the phone, when the phone needs to be given or somebody asks for the phone, I don't think it should be an issue.
Yeah, I mean, there's been situations where maybe we've been driving somewhere and for whatever reason, I don't have good service, but he's got okay service and I'm trying to look something up. I might say, "Can I see your phone so I can do this?" You know, and then I go ahead and I search for what I'm looking for and it comes up and da 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 da. And then, you know, we keep it moving. But
Now,
I
if that little text message come up while you looking through it,
but I'm
let me
but I'm not scrolling through social media. I'm not going through the text messages. I'm not trying to search and find for something. I'm just using the phone for the purpose and the intention in which I stated, like, hey, let me see your phone. You know, mine's acting up for whatever reason. I don't have good service, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. And that's not been a problem. But I've not taken it as an opportunity to start searching and digging and looking and trying to find information. So I'm gonna leave that in the past, in my days when I didn't know any better and I was a little more feisty and willing and able and ready to fight at a given moment,
Okay.
without any notice, little notice. All you got to do is piss me off the wrong way, and then boop, 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 we going at it. Those days are behind me. So I'm glad to say that I have grown and I have learned, and I'm doing much better now.
That's what I said. Ain't nobody fighting with nobody nowadays. I
No.
think that I value my peace
Yeah.
like so much that I rather let you fight by yourself and
Right.
fight your own demons
Yeah.
than even me trying to do that, because baby, I got kids to take care of and money to make.
Too much going on. I ain't got time to fight. Leave that behind in the past. All right, y'all. That's been a great episode tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you subscribe
And
to
we
our
love y'all.
page. We love y'all. We definitely do. Keep interacting with us in the Facebook group, Real Chill Conversations. If you haven't joined it, go ahead and join. Also, follow our Instagram, Real Chill Conversations, where we drop some content there as well. And we will tune in with you next week when Dominique is going to take the lead on a topic. Do we know what we're talking about yet already?
Not yet.
Not yet. We're working on it. We'll keep y'all updated and keep you posted. All right, y'all. Peace. Good night.
Bye-bye. Good night.